Greetings, friends, believers. Hey, it's been a minute since I've gone live, and so I just wanted to jump on just for a little bit, talk for a few minutes about some specific things that are going on. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope that you all had wonderful Mother's Day celebrations and honored the moms in your lives and all of that good stuff, and that graduations and all that. I know there's so much stuff going on right now. I have cousins who are graduating, friends, and all of that. And it's just an exciting time of year for so many things to be going on. And I wanted to just hop on and talk for a little bit um, about a few things. So this first little part is going to be directed primarily towards my friends and folks in the South, primarily back home in Bogalusa, Louisiana, Washington Parish, and then Slidell, Louisiana, and Gallman, Mississippi, the folks where we normally take our Believe camps. Um, we made the decision on the 15th of May that we needed to cancel our camps this year. So this would have been year 11 for our camps. And we decided that based on low enrollment and slow starts and stuff, that it was best for us to go ahead and cancel for all of those who had registered for the camps. We sent them notice and refunded uh, all of their money and all of that good stuff. And um, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with this feed. Anyway, I wanted to talk about that briefly because I've been getting emails and messages from folks um, asking about it and saying, "Hey, what happened? I went to the website to register, and well, I'm sorry, it's too late now. We went ahead and canceled it." And it's one of the things where I tried to explain this actually the last couple of years, but especially last year when we were doing the camps, that Believe is a nonprofit, but we're not self-sustained. Like we don't have like major grants and donors and stuff. We had a few, like we had a few last year who have helped out and help it be possible for us to go to these different communities in the South and to help cover our costs to put on these events. But we're not self-sustained, so it's not like we have a bunch of money sitting in the bank and we can just go do stuff whenever we want. We literally are relying on people registering before we can do anything, and we can't do anything. We can't bring the camp to you until we have all these people, because the very nature of Believe is that we're bringing in, while we have some people who are local to the South who participate, um, most of our instructors and most of the head people are coming from all over the country, from New York and LA and Kansas and Nebraska and wherever. And so we have to fly all those people in. And so that costs money. And there comes a point when every year where I have to go, okay, are we in a safe enough spot where I'm pretty confident that we're going to make up the difference and we're still able to pay all the people who are coming and cover all of our costs and rent vehicles for us to drive around in and all that stuff. And so we just got to the point where we just decided we just couldn't do it. And I specifically wanted to talk to Bogalusa because in Washington Parish, because there was a whole big to do about wanting to make sure that we came back here this year. And we said, okay, great, but please understand that we need X, Y, and Z to happen in order for us to do it. And everyone said, oh, absolutely, absolutely, we're totally behind it and all this stuff. And then when push came to shove, we had 5 people register by the 15th. And it's like, I'm sorry, we can't do it. Because then on top of it, because I we had enough people in the other 2 towns registered enough to kind of carry their loads where I could have justified continuing there. But the problem was is that the way we do the budget, it's split across all the places that we're going. So the overhead is shared by each location. So it's not just one place that has to absorb all the cost. And for Washington Parish, for my hometown, we were quite literally charging them the least amount. And so the other two towns are carrying the lion's share of it, but we couldn't afford to wait till the last minute. And so yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that people understood what it was and why. And so if people are now finally turning and saying, "Oh, we're ready to register," which I'm getting these messages, it's like, well, I'm sorry, we tried to say and we kept promoting that, there was a deadline, and I think people thought that was just a ploy, but no, unfortunately, that's really that's just what it is. And Toby, what's up, man? How you living? How you living? I need to come back out there and visit. um, Thanks for tuning in. So anyway, I just wanted to believe people to understand. I'm really sad that we weren't able to do it this year, and we're hoping to do it next year. So we want to, hit the ground running and start now to push ahead. Hey Don, what's up, cuz? Love you too, my brother. So want to get people organized now and get them planning stuff now, and preparing for next year, because we really like to do it. And what I want to say is, for all of those kids, who seniors, the ones who are graduating this year, normally this would be their last year. So next year they wouldn't be eligible to participate. But we are going to make the offer that we're going to open it up to them as well. So if you're like, oh man, you canceled it and this is my last year and I was looking forward to doing it, if you want to do it next year, we will allow you guys to do it, because we feel bad that you missed out on it. So yeah, and we'll do something special for you guys. So just wanted you to know about Believe and to understand that it wasn't an arbitrary decision, that it was something that we sweated and we met over and we talked over and over, and we just went, look, it's just not in our best interest to try to move forward and to possibly be in a bad situation financially for us, and to take a risk. Every year is a risk, but this one was just too big for us to take. And so yeah, so we're going to take the summer off in terms of doing Believe. All of us have other things to do, and that was kind of the next thing. Yeah, Toby, yeah, we canceled Believe this year. We just didn't have enough pre-registration at the point where we needed to start, booking flights and renting vehicles and all that sort of stuff. That I know you guys do awesome things at you with those kids. Oh, thank you so much, man. Oh, that's right. I forgot you visited last year, didn't you? That's right. Yeah, when we were in Slidell, I forgot that you and your family came and poked your heads in for a minute and hung out for a day when we were in Slidell. That was so cool to see you then, and to meet your daughter, because I knew the boys, but I hadn't met your daughter before, so that was really cool. So thank you for that, my brother. So yeah, unfortunately, we had to cancel it, and but if we can get people in the community to get on board and start working on things now, then next year we can bring it back. So we're not saying goodbye forever. We're but hopefully this kind of gets people to understand that we're on a different timetable. In order for us to do it, we need folks to get engaged sooner, much earlier, in all aspects of putting it together. So that's that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, I didn't want to just talk about negative things. I wanted to actually, it's Sunday, so let's talk about good things and blessings. And I am in the midst of preparing in the next week to head up to Northern Michigan, where I am going to do something I never thought I would do. Toby, I should hire you to promote believe for me. Um, but yes, please, everyone sign up next time. Um, oh, and hello to my friend Karen. It has been a very, very long time. Love my friends in Germany. Hi from Iowa. Big hug. Are you guys in Iowa right now? I know you sometimes come over and visit different people and stuff, so maybe that's what that means. But thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much. Um, like I said, I haven't been, I guess that's where I should start. So I haven't been doing the show too often. It's been very hit and miss, largely because for those that don't know, I accepted a job back in September, at the end of September of last year, as director of creative and production for the Young Americans. And so um, I have been busy doing producing and creating for the Young Americans. And as such, I am in the process of heading out to northern Michigan, where I have been going since I was 15 years old. It was the first time I went up to Petoskey and Harbor Springs, Michigan. I'm going there because the Young Americans have a dinner theater that's on the property of the Highlands. And for all my Young Americans friends, that's Boyne. It used to be called Boyne Islands, and now they're just called the Highlands. And so this year, I am writing and directing that show. And so here's where my praise comes in, is that um, I again, well, let me give you a little bit more background. So again, when I first auditioned for the Young Americans back when I was 14, 15, um, I went, I was accepted along with a couple of other friends, classmates, to the American Musical Theater, which was run by the Young Americans in Petoskey, Michigan, at North Central Michigan College. And so we spent the summer there. It was like summer stock theater where we went there, we took classes, and we put on several shows during the summer. And so that was my first taste of being involved in the Young Americans. I was 15 years old. Um, and when I was 18, the Young Americans remembered me, called me back, and said, "Hey, we want you to come do our dinner theater, Boyne Highlands." And so I went up there, joined that cast, and that was the summer of 1982. So went up there and performed there. Everything, loved it, had a blast. Met some amazing people who are still my friends to this day, um, and just amazing, amazing people. And some of them have been guests on this show before, including Mark L. Wahlberg. Um, so then, um, kind of just went on and did lots of different things. Later on, all three of my daughters were part of the Young Americans. All three of them, different years, uh, performed at Boyne Highlands for the dinner theater. The dinner theater is, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is year 46. Um, it's either 46 or 47, one or the other. So that's how long it's been around. Michael Wordley, oh my goodness, happy birthday, Star. How are you? So you've been traveling the world. It looked like you were in Africa. I wasn't really sure, but that's what it looked like. Uh, but it looked pretty cool. Whatever you were doing looked pretty cool. Um, so anyway, so all three of my daughters will perform there. And last summer, I was directing the summer camps that were also held up in Harbor Springs, Michigan, where the dinner theater is. And I love you too. Love you, love you. We need to talk soon, Mike, to catch up. Um, oh, Stacy Reeve. Hey, thanks for tuning in. It is year 46. Okay, can't wait to see you too. It's going to be so much fun. Um, so this is year 46 for this dinner theater, right? If it's not the longest running, it's must be the second longest running dinner theater in America, something like that. Anyway, last summer I went up and towards the end of their summer, the last 3 or 4 weeks of it, and was asked to come in and help out with the show. They had some different people who had to leave for different reasons and some different stuff. And so I went in and did some tweaks and stuff. And so I was super excited because I'm super passionate about dinner theater. I used to work at several Young American dinner theaters across the country, in Atlanta, in Seal Beach, California, Newport Beach, California. And um, I also had my own dinner theater for a long time. So I'm super passionate about doing dinner theater. So I thought, oh, that's really cool. And it was one of the things that a few years ago, I had actually prayed to God and said, there were a few things that I was praying for. And one of those things was, I was like, God, I would like to have one more chance at doing dinner theater again. I would love a shot at writing and directing a dinner theater show and doing that again. And so I played around in my head about possibilities of where to do it and when to do it, and did it was something I wanted to take a full risk on, or do I want to try to find a partnership or what? But I've been busy with other stuff, so just never quite got to it. And so it's like, well, that's okay. I'll just keep thinking about it. But I was like, before I leave this earth, I want a chance at doing that again. And then all of a sudden, now I'm in this position, and I get to write and direct uh, the show at the Highlands, the place that I performed at when I was 18 years old, and that I first saw when I was 15 years old. And again, that all three of my daughters performed at. So it's just crazy. Um, but it's one of those things where you have to recognize your blessings, and that is not at all how I expected that blessing to be answered or manifest. The prayer that I had, um, not at all how I expected it to be. And maybe this is not even it. Maybe God has something else, lined up for me or whatever for the future. But anyway, I am super honored and excited to have this opportunity to go in and direct an amazing cast of young performers, and to be back in beautiful Harbor Springs, Michigan again, right there on the lakes and everything. And like, oh my gosh, it's just beautiful up there. So a chance to get up there and be there again. Um, so sorry, I must go. Only 3 days left and back home. Big hug for you and Wyatt. Understood. Enjoy your trip. Safe travels. And hopefully I can talk to you soon. And Karen, I'm still planning on coming uh, to Germany as well at some point. Still trying to work that out. Just been really, really busy. But I'm going to try to factor that in because I have to go see my daughter and my son-in-law in The Lion King in Hamburg in Germany. So uh, hopefully when that happens, I'll get a chance to see you and the family there. So anyway, um, I don't want to take up too much time, but I did just want to just acknowledge that and just say how excited and blessed and honored I am to have this opportunity to do that, and really excited to be going up there in the next week or so, and to get a chance to do this. Never would have imagined when I first went and saw the show when I was 15 there, and then or when I was 18 and I performed on that stage. Never would have imagined that one day I'd be writing the show there and directing. So um, this past summer gave me a little taste of it. So I got to, tweak things a little bit and put a couple of numbers in here and there. And that was fun and a blast. And I thought, well, maybe that was it. And then only to find out that shortly after that, um, I guess the success of that then turned into this other opportunity. And so, again, just honored and excited to be a part of that. So, for any of you who are going to be traveling through northern Michigan or looking for something to do this summer, or going to be in Harbor Springs or whatever, it's going to be a good time. The show that we're doing is themed on the 80s. And I'd already kind of set in my brain when I was there last summer that if I'd had a chance, like if for some reason they said, "Hey, Bruce, you want to direct it?" I would be like honored and want to do it. And I'd already kind of made up in my mind I wanted to do uh, 80s music as the theme, because the last two years they did celebration of the 60s, and then last year the half of the show was about the 70s. Well, most of the show was about the 70s, and so I thought, well, let's do the 80s. The 80s were fun, and that was my heyday. So let's do the 80s, and so that's what we're doing. Um, Rhythm of the Night, or is something like that as a title. Rhythm something. Anyway, super excited about that. And let's see, my cousin Don says, continue being a blessing to the world's children. They need positive influence. Oh, bless you. And you as well, man. Thank you very much. I hope that's what I am. At the very least, always want to be an advocate for youth. And to uh, my other big prayer and is that I want to just be a blessing to as many people as I can for as long as I can while I'm still on this planet. So that's my goal, and I'm planning on having a great summer. I'm super excited about all of that. Um, Sad about Believe, but I'm super excited about the other opportunity and what we're going to get to create there, and such an amazing team that I'm going to get to work with, and again, talented group of young people. They're just outstanding. We had a Zoom meeting about a week ago, and everyone was fired up. Like we are, we are just. It's just going to be fun. It's going to be a great time. And Stacy, by the way, Miss Stacy Reeve is the mother of one of the performers, who's also going to serve as our dining room manager. Um, and so, yeah, so so you said you are a blessing, and Christian is still beyond words, thrilled and excited for the summer. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm so glad I get a chance to work with him again, because like I said, I just met Christian, her son, like I said, at the end of the summer last summer. I didn't know him prior to that, and it was such a brief time, and he had to leave early because he had to go to college. And so I think yeah, because he left before I left, and I left before the end. And so it was just a short time that I got to work with him, and I was like, man, I hope I get another chance to work with him again. And so I do, and I'm so excited. So it's going to be great. Anyway, I don't want to keep you guys. I just wanted to throw out some of that stuff and just talk about um, Believe a little bit, and just make sure that everyone understood what was happening. It wasn't because stuff gets out there and people start thinking weird things like, oh, it's a money grab, or Bruce is like. First of all, Bruce doesn't generally make money from Believe at all, but uh, it was really just simply that things just weren't lined up enough, and we didn't have enough people pre-registered to take that risk of moving forward. Because once we started buying plane tickets and renting cars and stuff, then there was a question of, well, will we get enough people to pay the people who've come in to do this, who are taking time off from work and other gigs and things like that, to come be a part of this. And so, also, in all fairness to all of them, we wanted to give them enough time to find other things to do, and find other opportunities, um, so that they just didn't lose their summer, kind of thing. So, again, just trying to do the right thing as best I can. Anyway, I'm going to try to pop in here more, especially this summer, because I kind of want to share the experience of what I'm going to be doing this summer, um, and some of the things that are happening that I'm super, super excited about. There's a couple other things that are coming up this summer that I can't yet talk about, but I'm super excited to share those with you as well. But I hope that everyone just, um, I'm going to end with this by just saying this. One of the things I share with the students that I work with, whether it's through Believe or through with the Young Americans, is one of the words that I keep using over and over again in so many scenarios is the word grace, and offering grace to the people around you. So we live in a place, we live in a time where things are rather volatile in terms of we don't talk to each other anymore. We don't, like, it's like if you don't agree with me, you're the enemy. Or, we go to drastic places, like there's no room for nuance, there's no room for um well, you can have a different opinion and that's okay, and I still respect you. Like, all of that stuff just goes out the window. And it's like, if you don't completely agree with me, if you don't like who I like or you vote for who I vote for, then you're the enemy and all of this stuff. And it's just such nonsense. And there are times that people and family members of stuff get into fights and have issues and separation between them because of different uh, disagreements, things that used to not be so prevalent, and we've allowed ourselves to get ginned up to this point now where it's just difficult to even get along. And um, and if we all just breathe, just take a breath and put things in perspective and communicate, I think that not I think I know the world will be a better place. Our lives would be so much easier and so much better, and we'd have so many more friends and allies. Um, and rather than immediately popping off and going after someone, assuming the worst or assuming the worst intentions from others, let's give folks a little grace and actually go, you know what, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt in what you're saying, and let's have a discussion about it. And it's okay if at the end we don't agree on something. That's all right. It's okay. But we can at least discuss it and try to understand each other rather than reducing everyone to their lowest common denominator and not having those conversations. So grace. So give grace, because we expect grace, It's like, oh, I didn't mean that. How often have we posted something online or commented on something and someone took it the wrong way? You're like, oh, I didn't mean that. Oh, I didn't mean that. That came out wrong. Or, whatever. Um, you would hope that someone, the recipients of it, or people who are listening to it, would offer some grace and say, I know you didn't mean anything by that. You didn't mean to hurt me. So let's offer some grace to one another. And yeah, and we're just gonna leave it at that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna, like I said before, I'm gonna try to do this more often. Um, Probably, well, I won't even say when because I don't want to lie and promise something and then not do it. But I will say I will try to do more because I do want to share uh, some of what I'm anticipating to be some beautiful times and experiences with everyone. That's what I always want to do, uh, and I am so fortunate, so blessed to get to have an outlet to share my talent, the gifts that I've been blessed with, and to get to work with other gifted individuals um, who share that same passion and same desire to just make everyone's days a little brighter, you know? And yeah, that's it. So, as always, live long and prosper. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.